In this video, we're going to talk about the 3 most important pages on your church website and how to optimize these 3 platforms to get the best results for your church website. Hey there, if we haven't met yet, I'm Nils Smith, your social media guide, and I help church leaders, ministry leaders, nonprofit leaders maximize social media to accomplish their organizational goals. And in this video, we're going to talk about church websites and the 3 most important pages that I found to be, both from a traffic standpoint and from a priorities of the church standpoint, and how to optimize those 3 pages to get the results you're looking for your church. So let's dig into those pages. The first page, not surprisingly, is the homepage of your website. And this page is important for a lot of reasons. One, it's what Google is looking for as to how people are going to find your website. And so you've got to make sure you have things like your church name, the city of your church, and things that people would search, and probably your pastor's name on there as well, and then come to your church's website. And so when somebody is searching for your church, and I'm in New York City church, is your church going to pull up at the top of those search results? Well, the reality is, if your website isn't easily found by Google, it might as well not exist on the internet. It's how we find everything. The number one way people often get to our websites is by even searching our domain name in Google. People just Google search everything. And so don't assume that everyone's going to know your URL to get to your website. You've got to prioritize your site for Google. So making sure it's optimized for search is key, especially with the homepage of your website. The other is that it's clean. I think if somebody comes into a cluttered lobby at your church, it's going to immediately turn them off. Well, if somebody comes into a cluttered website, it's going to immediately turn them off. And so have welcoming faces on the homepage of your website, visuals, and make sure it's clean and easy to navigate. Make sure your church name is easily seen. Make sure your messaging is welcoming and not just a bunch of news and announcements for your church members. Then you want to make sure the layout is really laid out for a first-time visitor more than a member. Now, a member is going to find the information they're looking for on other pages and navigation through the website, but make sure that homepage is really laid out well for the visitor. And so that visitor is going to know what time are your services at, where is your church location, what are your service times, how should I dress, what should I expect, what is your music style, some of that basic information. Now, it might just even be service times, and then you can find out more information or plan your visit, but make sure you're thinking about that visitor first. And the other thing to include on that homepage is watch the latest message, because this is a way for people, just like if they're checking out a restaurant on Yelp to see the menu, this is their way of checking out of, like, do I resonate with the teaching style or to the format, and even give me an idea of what should I wear, because this is what the pastor's wearing in that video. And so it gives people an idea, an opportunity to engage with your church before they come. So watch the latest message and plan your visitor, kind of those key calls to action on the homepage of your website. And then just make sure it's clean and informative beyond that. But don't overcomplicate it, don't overclutter, and prioritize the first-time visitor on your homepage. The second most important page, as I found it, and just from website traffic, is about the pastor or your church leadership page. It would surprise you how many people who are going to your website are also then secondarily going to this page on the website. More than small groups, more than ministries, more than anything else, people are checking out the pastor. And so that could be the pastoral team, but primarily the senior pastor. And so on that page, you'd likely want to have a great photo, or maybe a family photo, or maybe multiple photos, but give a good bio and description of the pastor so that people can understand basically who leads this church, and maybe what is the leadership structure of this church. And I think too, what they're looking for is, maybe when I go to church, who should I connect with? And so if you're a multi-site church, you would want to make sure you have your campus pastor visible, and people could find them and see maybe who that leader is that I should maybe look to expect to see when I go to church on Sunday. And so make sure you're thoughtful about that, about the pastor page. And so there will often be an about the church, so maybe gives church history and theology, mission. People check that out, but they're really primarily focused on the pastor. And so pastors often like to be like, it's not about me. The truth is, it's not about you, but you are often a way for people to feel a personal connection with the church before they attend. And so having this page is not making it about you. It's really making it about them and what they're curious about before they connect, to get them integrated into the community and life of your church. And then the third page that people don't often like to talk about is the giving page. And so it's like, oh, we don't want to make it all about giving. We don't have a flashing red button for giving. Definitely don't have a flashing red button for giving, but you do want to make giving easy for your congregation. Giving is a spiritual experience, and giving is an important part of how we do church. And so we want to make sure that our giving page is integrated naturally into our website experience. So when a first-time visitor comes, they're not like, oh, they're just pushing giving everywhere. But when they come and that, look, people do give here, or when a member is looking to give, that they don't have to look really hard to give. And so we want to have a giving experience. It's both easy to use. I see a lot of giving pages where you got to click like 5 times to give a gift, and you got to sign in and do all this stuff. We should make it really easy to give, but we should also remember giving is a spiritual experience. And so as part of that giving page, maybe we have a video that talks about giving. Maybe we have resources related to giving, that giving page, or scripture passages related to giving. And we don't use that to pressure people into giving. We use that as just part of the spiritual experience of giving. And you think about giving in the church, when they pass the plates, we often have offertory music playing and offertory prayers and things that we do that really help to enhance that spiritual experience of giving of our resources to God through the church. And so we want to do the same thing, and not just make it transactional, but make that a giving experience spiritual and meaningful. And so there's ways to do that with our messaging around that giving experience. And so don't just haphazardly put a link to your giving form on that giving page, but really be thoughtful in the giving experience you're creating on the website. So those are the 3, from my perspective, most important pages on your church website. I hope that helps. If you have any questions about giving, drop those in the comments or reach out to me personally. I also, by the way, have a church website company that we have closed to new signups, but if you want to get on the wait list for that, or even get a free SEO audit for your church, you can go to churchpress.co. That's churchpress.co. I'll have a link in the description below, but we'd love for you to check that out. And as we reopen up new signups to build out your church website, we'd love to support you in that way. So go check that out. Thanks so much for watching. We'll talk to you again on the next video.